You have the tools for namima, right? It used to be, that, now people, it's amazing, the internet and the amount of time that people spend on these things. Really, if you start, you should clock in and just look and see what kind of time you spend on these things. Because people say, oh, I don't have any time. I never believe that. Because I know how much time I waste. Really. Everybody, we are master time wasters, human beings. Even the most efficient people waste time. Because you can't, like a machine has an efficiency rate. Like a car, they say it's about 7%. Like 93% of the car's energy is just wasted in a combustion engine, very inefficient. The human body, it's working at about 33% at optimal work. It's dissipating a lot of caloric energy. This is the nature of our creation. Allah has made a creation like this, right? Al-kamalu lillah. Only Allah is perfect. Even though His creation has its perfection, He put in the creation all these signs that by its very nature, it's falling apart. So, also like that is your time, the amount of time you use. Everybody needs lahu. The Prophet ﷺ, he permitted it in certain times. The Sahaba used to have times of recreation. Recreation is an important part of life. But it's how much time you're wasting. Because you need some time, downtime. You have to have it. You have to sleep. The eating also. And then there has to be that time just where your mind is. You can't read all the time. You'll get sick. Really, you will. If you read all the time, you can't read all the time. And if you know how to read, if you're doing serious reading, you can't read. Serious reading is more tiring than just empty reading. Reading for tasliya, just for entertainment. Like thinking about what you're reading takes a lot of energy. So people waste time. It's a human condition. But Allah tells us, وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا, not to be people of israf. وَلَا تُبَذِّرْ تَبْذِيرًا. Don't be people of tabdhir. إِنَّ الْمُبَذِّرِينَ كَانَ إِخْوَانَ الشَّيَاطِينَ. Because they're the mubadhirin, the consumers, are brethren of the shayateen, right? People that yubadhiru, they waste, just consume things. Ahlaktu malan lubada. The man boasts, I have spent vast amounts of wealth. Ahlaktu, like I destroyed it, consumed it. Right? One of the old English words for the devil is the consumer, because he consumes souls. And that's what this modern world is doing with people, is just consuming them. They're wasted away. Really, if you look out there, especially where people don't have ibadah anymore, you see the vacuity of the faces. You can see the emptiness. You can see the pain. There's a lot of suffering. And you shouldn't look at these people with contempt. Muslims have traditionally looked with compassion. It's arrogance to have this view of superiority because, they don't worship or they don't know. Who you should have told them. Uqba bin Nafi', when he arrived to the ocean of the Atlantic, they say he had his horse ride into the ocean as the waves were hitting his horse. He said to Allah, "Oh Allah, if I knew there were people on the other side of this ocean, I would build ships to take your religion to them." And that was the himmah of the early Muslims. And that was the himmah of these people also, to take Islam. And the great people of Tasawwuf who spread Islam in India and went into the little villages with the Hindus where they're worshipping idols and things like that, and they taught them about Islam. So this is, we're in a time where the tools of the shayateen are immense. You just have so many tools. And so this is a really, all of us, and I include myself, wallahi, all of us are blessed to have this. This is called leisure time. This time that we have, leisure, in the traditional sense of the word. Joseph Pieper, a great German philosopher, wrote a book called Leisure. And what he argues is that leisure is the foundation of civilization. The time to think. It is the time to cultivate the mind and the spirit. That is what leisure is. Leisure comes from a Latin word which means license. It's a permission. It's the time where you're permitted to do the things you were created to do fully. Right? It's a rukhsa. And so you have a time now, this time that you have here, it's a great time of immense benefit, inshallah. So my advice to myself and to all of you is utilize this time. This is precious time. It's free time. You're people of leisure right now. You look, we have people serving us. You look at those people, they're serving us. There's people serving our food. There's people cleaning our rooms. There's people driving us to and from, right? Look with the eye of love to those people, because without them we couldn't do what we're doing. We would be busy doing those things. And so what an honor to be amongst people that Allah allows this time to be afforded to us, to cultivate our minds and our spirits, to try to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What a gift. I mean, just Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, hamdan yuwafi ni'amahu yukafi mazida. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, hamdan yuwafi ni'amahu yukafi mazida. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, hamdan yuwafi ni'amahu wa yukafi mazida. The Prophet said, if you say that 3 times in the morning and the evening, then if you say it sincerely from your heart, it's enough of gratitude to Allah. But really, be in a state of gratitude to Allah, because this is just such a blessing to be afforded this leisure time to cultivate our spirits and our minds, especially before Ramadan, because this is going to be an excellent preparation. Inshallah, this will be the best Ramadan that we have. May Allah give us a beautiful Ramadan, and a beautiful Sha'ban is a great, we're going to be here. A nice thing also about the Sunni country, this Sunni country, is they really honor the traditional days. Like the Nisf Sha'ban is a big night, It's a big night. I'll tell you, there's a khilaf about it, which is fine. It's a khilaf. Imam Malik did not practice Sha'ban, Nisf Sha'ban. Imam Malik himself, he didn't. The hadiths were from the people of Sham. Al-Awza'i considered it a big night. The Sham ulama of the Tabi'een all elevated Nisf Sha'ban. But it spread throughout the world, and the Malikis ended up celebrating it. So even though Imam Malik, it's fine. If people don't want to celebrate, that's fine. But Ibn Rushd gave a great qa'idah. Ibn Rushd said, if you ever have an ikhtilaf about the rahmah of Allah, always err on the side of rahmah. If there's a valid ikhtilaf, does the Quran get to dead people or doesn't it? He just said, look, just consider it that it gets there, because it's rahmah. And wherever there's more rahmah, then there's more Islam. Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, rahimahullah radiyallahu anhu, he said that al-Islam kulluha rahmah, فَإِذَا انْتَقَرَتْ مِنَ الرَّحْمَةِ إِلَى ضِدِّهَا لَيْسَ مِنَ الْإِسْلَامِ. Islam is all mercy. So if it goes from mercy to its opposite, it's not from Islam. He said, al-Islamu hikmah, kulluha hikmah. فَإِذَا انْتَقَرَتْ مِنَ الْحِكْمَةِ إِلَى ضِدِّهَا فَلَيْسَ مِنَ الْإِسْلَامِ. Islam is all wisdom. So if it goes from wisdom to its opposite, it's not from Islam. He said, Al-Islamu adrun, kulluhu adrun. فَإِذَا انْتَقَرَ مِنَ الْعَدْلِ إِلَى الْجَوْرِ لَيْسَ مِنَ الْإِسْلَامِ. He said that Islam is justice, it's all justice. So if it goes from justice to its opposite, then it's not from Islam. So may Allah inshallah give you all the blessing of this time. May He give you the ability to make use of it. We really owe also a lot to the volunteers. There's a group of volunteers. Please treat them all with respect. There's always going to be things that arise. People can have genuine problems, and then you have whiners and complainers. And I'm not saying any of you are from those people. I don't think there's any whiners and complainers here, inshallah. But there are people that just, their nature is they just like to whine and complain. You know people like that. I mean, all of you have had those experiences. And so they will just find anything to whine or complain about. The food's not good enough, shame on you. مَا عَابَ طَعَامًا قَطْ Ya Rasulullah. The Prophet ﷺ never criticized food. We have so much blessing. The food will be excellent food. So, if you have a valid complaint or something, then take it to one of the people with adab. That's fine. But don't complain and just to be a complainer. So, nobody likes complainers, even other complainers. They don't, because they want to be complaining, and you're taking up all their time.